And we're live. What's going on, y'all? How we feeling, Rap? How we feeling,
Man,
boys?
what's good, man? Appreciate everybody tapping in, man. We got Nephew here. We got SK, man. It's been a minute since us three been on the screen together too, man. So this should be good, man. Shout out everybody that's gonna watch tonight, man. Let's go. Skull Bites, baby.
Skull to the bowl. Whole lot of skull gang on this one. Yeah. Hey. 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 Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring. We don't care what the team doing, man. They ain't messing with the perp gang. It's our year, time to get this ring. Bring it home back to the skull gang. Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy SK. I'm here with JJ. I'm here with Rap. Like Rap said, man, it's been a minute since we linked up, but we had to get it going again. And you can just call it the Purple Parlay because there's three of us and we're parlaying. We're talking Vikings football, but let's start off with JJ. How we feeling, JJ?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think it's a good time to be a Vikings fan.
Absolutely. What's up, Rap? How we doing over there?
Man, we doing good, man. I miss us doing a show. What do we do? What were we talking about last night? Or was it last night or night before?
Yeah, we're trying to get it in last night, but we
were trying to get it in
Sunday.
I mean, but we had to push it. We had to push it back, man. Push it on back, man. But we here now, man. It's gonna be exciting. So let's go.
Yeah, let's get these shout outs in real quick to start off the show. We got our guy Dustin in the house. Welcome in, Dustin. Appreciate you tapping in from Twitter. The Black Al Bundy. What's going on, Black Al Bundy?
What's happening?
In. We got Luft Krieger. I hope I didn't butcher your last name, Krieger. Welcome in. Okay, we got the noises going. We got the Vikings horn. Emergency live session. I don't know if you want to call it an emergency. It's more of a reacquaintance of good friends. We got to get back into the groove of things. It's almost training camp. So we got to talk Vikings football, man. Anthony Webb, what's up, y'all? Skull, thank you for tapping in. Dynamic trio. Dustin again, appreciate you, my guy. Three Musketeers right here. Roger Lindquist. Viker podcast, welcome in. I know you've been out there pushing your content, man. Shout out Viker podcast. Pop Punk Skull, Nick, my dogs. Let's see, selling McCarthyism. I like that. That's a good name. We ain't got to sell it though. We just gotta wait till he plays. He's gonna sell himself. Mr. Mock Draft himself, Bob Swede in the house. Appreciate you tapping in.
I want to midnight.
Yeah, midnight. Mr. Woosaw. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of that this season. I feel like you got a Woosaw. It's a learning season. A Breezy in the house. My guys, what's goody? A Breezy. And Felicia Carlson from Facebook. Thank you for tapping in, Felicia. We always appreciate your support. But, man, we got a lot to get to, believe it or not. Even though this is a slow time of the year for the Minnesota Vikings, we still got a lot to talk about. And we're going to start off with some surprise cuts. Or you know what? Let's start off with the 2024 expectations for the Minnesota Vikings. We're going to get right into it and get spicy. So, JJ, I'm going to start with you. What is your expectations for the 2024 Minnesota Vikings?
A winning season. I'd say a winning season. And I think possibly playoffs. And lots of people say that wide receiver 3 is our biggest worry for the team. I think it might actually be corners, because when you think about it, we don't have that much depth. We have Byron Murphy, Shaquille Griffin, and then after that, who else really is there? Mekhi Blackman, I know he'll learn, he'll get better, but, Kyrie Jackson and the rest of those guys, they're still pretty young. And I think using the money that we have, we can go out and get a guy like Xavier Howard or what's his name? Stephon Gilmore. And, those kinds of guys who, you can say they're washed or whatever, but they'd be pretty good in purple because the way we set things up with Brian Flores and the way we set things up for our defense. And I just think it's a good place to be if you're in Minnesota. It's a good team to play on if you're playing on the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at Byron Murphy, who we signed last offseason, he doesn't want to leave Minnesota. He's nice and comfortable. He went to his agent and said, make sure you work something out with the Minnesota Vikings. I want to be here long term. So it's almost like once we get these free agents in the building, they don't want to leave. So, but what about you, Rap? What's your expectations for the 2024 season?
My expectations. I mean, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. They regular, like they not like super high. They're not like super high. They're regular. They're pretty regular. Especially just figuring out the quarterback position too. Just trying to figure out who's gonna be. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Trying to figure out who's gonna be the starting quarterback and for how long, right? Because and I know we can talk about it, but I just don't know what y'all's expectations are on Sam Darnold. But to me, me and Papa were talking about this the other night. We were just like, we have these projections of, well, he hasn't had a team around him, he doesn't have this staff and all that. And I remember us having the same conversation with Josh Dobbs. So, I'm just concerned about that. Like, so if right now my expectations are just mid, like we're gonna be a competitive team, but I want to win a Super Bowl, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. I think that's just the fan in me is just ready to win a Super Bowl.
Uncle Rap, Josh Dobbs. There was nothing wrong with Josh Dobbs until KOC messed up his play style and tried to turn him into Kirk Cousins. So he had everything around him. KOC just messed up his play style.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is, nephew? Is that what it is?
Say the play style. I mean, that's a good assessment for sure, because he was balling out the first couple games when he was just running around, playing carefree, doing his thing. But I think it was more so teams started to kind of figure out, okay, this is what they're doing with Josh Dobbs. Even though I do agree with you, JJ, KLC did try and kind of keep him as a pocket quarterback once we got a little more comfortable with him. And I feel like it did slow down that momentum. But let's be real. Let's be real about Josh Dobbs.
Exactly.
Josh Dobbs ain't it.
Please, let's be real. Nephew, come on, man, nephew.
You guys were all like, Josh Mahomes Dobbs. You guys were all like, so,
hey,
when they started the ball out.
No, that was SK. That was SK. That was SK trying to convince me, talking about where's number 15 and this. That was SK.
Oh yeah. My bad. My bad.
I'm Jaron Mahomes Hall.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Rap was Jaron Mahomes Hall. Like it's any better than Josh Mahomes. So, but no, man. As far as me, I'm right there in the middle. I would kind of say I'm alongside Rap there, where it's kind of, we're not going to go 17-0. Let's get that out the way. I know people are kind of clowning and trolling and saying, oh, we're going 17-0. We're not going 17-0, guys. Could I see us having a winning record? Absolutely. Because if history is proven right, the Vikings do better when the expectations are low. And expectations are low. If you look across national media pundits, they have Minnesota either finishing third or last in the NFC North. And if you want to look back and look at the times that we have been projected to finish at the bottom of our division, most of the time we surprise people and we jump up and we end up having a winning record or making the playoffs. So it all depends on, again, Rap said it, the quarterback position. We got everything else we need. We don't have a ton of holes on this team, if I'm being quite honest. And we'll talk about those holes a little bit later in the show. But overall, we have a really good team. We have a really good roster. We have talent all over the board, not just on offense, but also on the defensive side as well. So it comes down to the quarterback position. And it's almost an unknown. I know that we've seen Sam Darnold play, whether it be for the Jets, whether it be for the Carolina Panthers, I think it was only 4 or 5 games that Sam Darnold actually played for the Carolina Panthers. I don't think he played the whole season.
Nah, he played more than that.
Was it more than that? Or it might have been
the first season he did, yeah.
Because I know he had a winning record with the Carolina Panthers, and then they decided to replace him with, God, who did they replace him with? I forgot who they replaced him with. Was it another
they called up a guy from the XFL to replace him.
That's right. And then they started losing. But
yeah, PJ Walker.
We don't know. Yeah, PJ Walker. We don't know the intentions of what the Carolina Panthers were trying to do that season. They may have been in tank mode. And I believe that was the same season that they traded Christian McCaffrey as well. So they may have been in the mindset of, look, Darnold, you're winning us games that we don't necessarily want to win. We want to be towards the top of the draft so we can take a quarterback, and that's exactly what they ended up doing and getting Bryce Young. But it's the unknown of what Sam Darnold is going to present for this team. We saw him last year in San Francisco. He made his one start. He played really well, and I believe it was on Monday night, if I'm not mistaken. Played really well for the San Francisco 49ers with very minimal playing time. Now he's on the best team that has the best weapons that he's ever been on, and that's including the 49ers. I don't care what you say. 49ers don't have the receiving core that the Minnesota Vikings have. They have Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, they have a better running game. Offensive line, they may have the upper hand a little bit there, but I think Sam Darnold is in the perfect situation to succeed, and it's really up to him. I think he's the bona fide starter week 1, in my opinion. I don't think J.J. McCarthy is going to be starting week 1, but again, it's the unknown. What Sam Darnold are we going to see? Are we going to see the Sam Darnold that's seeing ghosts on the field? Are we going to see the Sam Darnold that we played a couple years ago that took it to overtime, that was actually dropping some dimes on us? Granted, it was a terrible Vikings defense, but it all depends on the quarterback position.
Yeah, I was at that game.
Yeah, I mean, we can make anyone look good. We're so good at making any kind of quarterback look good, whether it's Daniel Jones, maybe even Sam Darnold in 2021, or just any quarterback. You know, we're good at making the mediocre quarterbacks look good.
Most definitely. And again, expectations are low. Vikings always come to play.
Yeah.
So looks like we got De Niro Jones gifting Vocal Vike 5 memberships.
Let's go, man. Shout out my guy.
Get that
Shout out my guy De Niro, man. Let's get it.
There we go. Appreciate the support, De Niro.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man, I think JJ has some high expectations. I don't think we're as high as JJ on this team, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a double-digit win season and we make the playoffs. Yeah. I wouldn't. I'm not a believer in the Bears. I think the Detroit Lions are going to take a step back because their expectations are extremely high. And I think the Packers are going to be right about the same. They're still going to be a tough out. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be a borderline playoff team. So the division is good, but I don't think the Bears are this great team that people kind of are making them out to be because they drafted Caleb Williams. They got some weapons, but I don't think they're as good as what people think they're going to be. So, but I think we're all in the same boat as far as.
Can you highlight real quick? Highlight Jim NFL 7's comment.
Who was it?
Can you highlight Jim NFL 7 comments? His comment.
Oh, it's not NFL season.
He's been saying that. No.
Not that
one.
The
one that says, "Sorry, kid. In the end, the chokings will let you down." He's been saying that to me since day one. He always calls them the chokings.
The chokings. Hey, man, look.
He's been saying that all the time.
I can't sit here and argue him too much because we do choke a lot.
Hey.
He's
been watching him for 30 years.
So negative.
Yeah, negativity, I get it. But, man, it's tough. We do choke.
In disguise.
T-Bass.
T-Bass. But
did you say T-Bass, nephew? Who T-Bass?
I think Jim NFL 7 is T-Bass in disguise.
Yeah, T-Bass.
Considering how much he's killing the move.
Is pretty negative.
The burner account. He's got the burner account. But
Darnold has had good opportunity
to manage the game each week to cast around him. I'm not saying Baker Mayfield type of season, but he will do enough to win games and possibly be a playoff team. Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if he has the season Baker Mayfield has at all. Leading up to last year, before the 2023 season with Baker Mayfield, he kind of had somewhat of a similar start to his NFL career. So it wouldn't be out of the realm if Sam Darnold does come in and has a year that's similar to Baker Mayfield. And I know a lot of people are kind of comparing it to Baker Mayfield because it is so similar. So I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, Baker Mayfield. I think I guess. I mean, I think Baker Mayfield's a little better, but it is what it is. I can see it. I just don't like. My thing is this, man. When we talk about some of these players with Sam Darnold, a lot of us Vikings fans, we're going off of, what we believe could happen is what I like to say, right? Because if you going off of what you know about Sam Darnold, ain't no way you think we making the playoffs with him. Ain't no way you think we're gonna be a competitive team with him. I mean, if you're going off of facts and just what we already know, because he's been in the league 5 years.
Yeah.
Like we talking about a quarterback that got a lot of football already. 60, what does he got? 63 total touchdowns, 56 interceptions. You know what that means? That means for every touchdown he throws, he will come down and throw you a pick as well to go with it.
Yeah.
Like facts. I'm just saying, man.
I mean, compare it to Jameis Winston. Everybody loves Jameis because of the personality and how fun he is. Sam Darnold's just not as wild and out there as Jameis Winston is, but they play very similar. So they play very similar for sure.
Hey, but it's gonna be fun though. Like, and this is the thing. I'm riding for Sam Darnold though. I'm riding for Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm
harder
ride
than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, like I'm a ride for him. My expectation. I'm not gonna set myself up to be disappointed. It'd be like Sam Darnold's gonna come in and this is the best cast he's ever had, and he's just gonna resurrect and turn into the next best thing. I just can't. I don't know if I can buy into that quite yet. Now catch me right before week 1 because my vibe might be a little different.
Last offseason, you said we beat the 49ers. Last offseason, before like way before the 2023 season, we said we beat the Niners by a lot. You said that. That made no sense at the time. You were like overly. No, that was like way before we beat them. Months before.
Hey,
before though.
Nostradamus over there.
I was with Kirko. That was with Kirko Chains, baby.
Well, yeah, but
Tom G says people got to remember KOC is still a young coach. He's still learning. I think his best coaching days are still ahead. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think we're playing with house money this season too. It's almost a win-win for the Vikings this season. We don't have any real big expectations. Obviously, all of us want to see the Vikings win. All of us want to see the Vikings in the playoffs playing meaningful games. But let's be real. If we go out there and we do have a bad season, I don't think it's going to be a crazy surprise for anybody. And we're sitting there with still our first round pick for next year. We didn't have to spend that to move up and grab our quarterback of the future in JJ McCarthy. So we still got our first round pick. So if we are bad, we're going to be drafting high in the draft. If we're good, we're more than likely going to be in the playoffs and we might make some noise because we do have a good team. But anything can happen. There's a lot of stuff that can happen, not just in the offseason, but throughout the regular season, whether it be injuries, whether it be a breakout player that nobody was realizing was as good as he is. So a lot can happen to put us in position to be a really good team and a really good playoff team, or be a really bad team and be picking in the top 5, top 10. So I don't think we'll be picking in the top 5, but you never know. But shout out Yogi, man. Where's Yogi, man?
Shout out my boy, man.
Where's Fat Boy?
It was Yogi's birthday the other day. What was that, Friday? My boy birthday was Friday, man.
Yeah, so happy belated, Yogi, man. We miss you. We got some work for you coming up. We got some work for you coming up. Be ready to work, Yogi.
Trying to get back in that lab, man, for sure, man. Summer break over with.
In the lab soon, Yogi.
Summer break over with.
Dylan says, I've been in the waiting room for the show since yesterday. Skull purple.
Dang, my bad, Dylan, man. My bad.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know how the live came up because I didn't create a live stream on purple.
It was
coming up.
Nephew set it up yesterday.
Oh, okay, and then just connected it more than likely. So yeah, but let's get to our next topic, man. And we gotta look at the negative side of things sometimes. So there's cuts coming up. After training camp, there's going to be some guys getting cut. Now, who's going to be a surprise cut for the Minnesota Vikings? I'll start with you, Rap.
Surprise cut, I'm going to say. I mean, I don't know if it'd be much of a surprise, but I'm going with Lewis Cine.
I think everybody kind of feels that coming. Like it's
I don't know if it's much of a surprise. I mean, it should be a surprise.
It should be.
Because he's a first-round draft pick. You know what I mean? And again, this is another situation of, buying into the hype, all the He gonna stack the bodies and all this, you know, buying into it. Everybody getting excited, and we
Yep.
get let down as Vikings fans. You know what I mean? Like, I just think I'll go with Anthony too. Evans
You know
getting
what?
cut. I'll go with that too. I'll go with that.
You said Evans?
Caleb Evans. Like,
Caleb.
I would rather keep Lewis Seen. I'll be honest with you.
I wouldn't actually.
Really? You would rather keep a Caleb Evans over Lewis Seen?
Caleb Evans has played more than Lewis Seen.
Don't matter.
Your
He's
best
still
ability is
garbage.
your availability. At least
he's
Caleb's
made
been
plays.
available half the time.
Bro, Caleb Evans playing cornerback for us is not a good thing.
He's
Like,
made
straight
plays. He's made plays.
I mean, I'm not the biggest a Caleb Evans fan. Don't
You know
get
what
me
I'm
wrong.
at?
Nephew.
Evans made plays.
He's made plays. How many plays?
He said, "How many?"
How many plays, nephew, have you ever seen a Caleb Evans make? Because he ain't make no plays with me.
He
Nothing
got
that
a pick
stands out.
against the Bengals. He got a pick against the Bengals. I know it was Jake Browning, but he still got a pick against the Bengals.
Okay.
Where did Lewis Seen get a pick? When did Lewis Seen get one?
Lewis
How
Seen
is it
hasn't
even a
even
surprise that
played
he
on the
might get cut,
defensive
by the
side
way?
of the ball
How
yet.
is he a surprise?
That's the
cut?
problem. If you can't even get on the field, what are you doing on the team? Is my thing. And I feel like we have so much depth at the safety position that, and I'm not going to say we're slim at the cornerback position, but there's an opportunity in that cornerback room for Caleb Evans. I don't think he's going to start. I think Mekhi Blackman is going to get that over him, or Shaq Griffin's going to get that, or possibly even the rookie Kyrie Jackson is going to get that over him. But I just feel like there's more opportunity in the cornerback room than there is in the safety room for Lewis Seen. And let's be real. Like I said, your best ability is your availability. I know Lewis Seen had this drastic injury, not last year, 2 years ago. This wasn't something that's happened recently. He had an opportunity to recover and try and get back on the field. And we're not just talking about being a starter on the defensive side of the ball. We're talking about just getting on the field, get on special teams. He can't even get on the field for special teams. And that's because our guy Najee Thompson is killing it on special teams. So that's my thing. You're a first-round pick. You can't even get on the field on the special team.
Shout out Realistic Randy in the building, man.
Yeah, shout out our guy Randy, man. Always showing love, always showing support. That's my guy. We go way back.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
you talk about Lewis sees the truth. Stop hating, man. Stop it, Randy, man. Go ahead, man.
I was one of the dudes. I was excited for Lewis Seen when we did draft him, and I probably talked myself into it. But I don't even want to talk about trading back 20 spots when we had the opportunity to draft Kyle Hamilton. But let's not get into that. So he already started off with a bad taste in our mouth, trading back and drafting a safety anyways, which was a terrible decision by Kwesi. Love you, Kwesi. Terrible decision, though. I'm sorry to tell you. And we only got Andrew Booth in that trade as well. So it's not like we got another great player for trading back 20 spots. But my surprise cut, and I don't know if it's a surprise anymore, Jalen Naylor.
You know
How
what?
many seasons?
I cannot believe there was a time.
Go ahead, JJ.
Did he freeze? I think he froze.
I cannot believe there was a time when I thought Lewis Seen would start over Cameron Bynum.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a deep safety room. So there's not going to be any opportunity for Lewis Seen unless you think he's going to take over for Cam Bynum. Is he going to take over for Josh Metellus? He sure as hell ain't taking over for Harrison Smith. So where is he going to get the playing time on the defensive side of the ball? He's not. He can't even get the playing time on special teams. But my surprise cut, if you want to call it a surprise, Jalen Naylor. How many seasons, how many opportunities, how many times are we going to think Jalen Naylor is going to be the wide receiver 3? He's not. Give it up, guys. He had 2 games that were decent. He scored a touchdown again. We're getting blown out 42-13. The other game he played against the Bears in a meaningless game. He's not going to turn into the guy.
Hey, hold up now, SK.
Jalen
Real
Naylor
quick.
is going to get cut this offseason. He doesn't fit into this team.
Hey.
Again, Your best ability is your availability. Jalen Naylor is not available for this team. And even if he was, he's not starting over Brandon Powell. And the way this offseason is going, he's not starting over Trent Sheffield. And the way it's going to go, he's not going to get on the roster over Tristan Jackson. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, hold up now. You've been holding that in for a long time, must be, boy, the way you spazzing on my boy like that. Don't do that. Hey,
because it's the Oli Udoh effect.
Not Mr. Tristan Jackson over there.
Oli Udoh had a decent game against the Bears and Khalil Mack when the Bears gave up on the season. It's the last week of the year. Nobody cared about the game. It's the Oli Udoh effect. That's exactly where Jalen Naylor gets his production from in games that don't matter or games that are already over. Jalen Naylor's getting cut. Plain and simple.
I wouldn't give a damn if it do anyway. I mean, dang, I'm sorry. My bad.
I just know there's a lot of Jalen Naylor fans out there that have been waiting for a Jalen Naylor breakout season. It hasn't happened.
I do got to say this. Like, I did like Jalen Naylor, but now that we got Jordan Addison and you have JJ, I mean, it kind of like eliminates because getting a wide receiver 3 is a little simpler to replace than, because Jalen Naylor, they were talks like he might be wide receiver 2 at one point because they thought he was really, really talented coming out of college. But hey, if he get cut, he get cut. That's what it is.
I mean, look at the wide receiver room. You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Brandon Powell. You got Trent Sherfield, who's actually had a really good offseason. And I think that's kind of been JJ McCarthy's kind of go-to guy in the mini camp and everything. We'll see how training camp goes. I'm not going to sit here and say, Sherfield's going to be the guy that's going to take over wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4. But that's kind of your top 4 guys right there. And then you got a Tristan Jackson. And then am I missing somebody else? I think I'm missing somebody else in that wide receiver room.
Tell them how you feel about Tristan Jackson, because that's what you really should be ranting about.
I mean, we can get to it right now. Tristan Jackson's going to make the 53-man roster this year.
This man been saying this since 2021, y'all. Like,
hey,
there he is again. There he goes. There he goes.
Tristan Jackson's going to make this roster this season. Mark my words, man. Okay. Mark my words.
He'll eventually get it. He'll eventually get that prediction right, guys.
Hey, he dressed for I think like 5 or 6 games last year.
Guy.
That's my guy. I'm a ride for Tristan Jackson. I know
Tristan Jackson is.
Yeah.
Go ahead, JJ.
Go ahead, nephew.
No, I know he's Uncle SK's guy, but I just don't understand why Uncle Rab doesn't like him. He's basically his twin. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's your doppelganger.
No, look, I don't have any issue with him. I really like him now too because he was very respectful and gave JJ McCarthy number 9. So for that right there, which he didn't own the number anyway. So
you like it because he took number 8. That's why you like him.
Did he take number 8? I didn't know that. But yeah,
number 8 now.
That's why. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, look, I like him. I just don't think that. I mean, and obviously not just me. The team doesn't feel like he performs well enough to. I can see what you would like in him, SK, especially coming out of Syracuse and stuff like that. He did seem like a baller, but I don't know, man. I don't know why it's not translating. Why he isn't wide receiver 3? Like, I don't understand. But
I don't think he's gonna be wide receiver 3. I think that's Brandon Powell's position.
Yeah,
for the taking.
Sure.
After that, it's kind of a toss-up. And that's where it's kind of a surprise if Jalen Naylor does get cut, because if he stays healthy, this is his opportunity to make this 53-man roster. Will he? I don't think so. I think there's guys that are far, far more dependable on this roster and that are, quite honestly, that are better than Jalen Naylor.
Yeah. Have we cut since 2022? Have we cut or released anybody that Kwesi them has drafted yet? Or is it too?
No, not yet, because
so this will probably be the first year.
Andrew, but yeah, not anybody that's recognizable or that's been drafted at the top of a draft has been released. I believe we did have 1 or 2 guys, but they were late round picks or they were undrafted free agents or something. So no one that is noticeable where we're like, whoa, former first round pick, former second round pick is cut from the team. So not yet, but I think this is the offseason that it happens. And it's probably Lewis Cine, if we're being honest. I think let's put it this way. I'm gonna ask you guys, who has a better chance of making the 53-man roster, Lewis Seen or Andrew Booth?
Andrew Booth.
JJ?
Andrew Booth. Andrew Booth Jr.
I agree.
And that's
Andrew
not
Booth
saying
Jr.
a lot, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we're talking about two guys that have done absolutely nothing too. So this is a pretty sad conversation right here. But I think being the cornerback position, you would probably want to have some more, at least competition there rather than the safety. Because the safety, like you said, that's one of our strongest groups on the team. Like, I feel like safety is one of our strongest groups, man. Like, for real.
Oh, yeah,
I was
for
just
sure.
talking about that the other night. Like, we're stacked at safety, bro. Especially Theo Jackson isn't somebody to sleep on either. You know, like.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And here goes the first cut / trade. Verdian Lowe, which I believe was a 5th round pick, tackle out of, was it Virginia, if I'm not mistaken? Traded to the Patriots, would have been O'Neill's replacement, and is starting over there for the Patriots. So selling McCarthyism, shout out to you, man. But yeah, that's the one guy that has been cut or traded, I guess you can say, in the Kwesi kind of timeline. So that was the first guy, but it looks like we're gonna get 1 or 2 guys in this offseason that's gonna do so. It looks like Rap froze on us over there. He got that mango Wi-Fi over there, but let me see. I know I had another question. Okay, sounds like he's talking about Brian Asamoah at linebacker. What has he done? He can go. That might be a surprise cut. What do you think, JJ?
I think that he did make a good play in week 16 of 2022 against the Giants, punching the ball out of the tight end's hands. But other than that, there hasn't been much that he's done. And Brian Flores is already tolerating one linebacker and Ivan Pace Jr. So I think that Brian Asamoah, actually not Asamoah, as Uncle SK.
My bad.
I think that he might actually be a surprise cut, but I don't think it'll happen though.
Okay, what about you, Rab? You think Asamoah is going to be on the chopping block, or you think he makes a team?
I think he makes a team.
I think he does too. I think he's going to play a part in the special teams as well. Maybe not necessarily as a starter. I think we all agree he's not going to be a starter on the defense. He'll be a depth piece, especially because Troy Dye is not around anymore. So he may be filling in on that Troy Dye role. But I also think he gets a lot of playing time on the special teams as well. So I think that's why he kind of sticks around on a 53-man roster. And Kwesi, that's kind of his guy too. I think they have a personal relationship to where I think he sticks around maybe longer than what he possibly should. But yeah, I think he sticks around mainly for special teams though, and for depth at the linebacker position.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that too.
Says convert Ed Ingram to defensive tackle. Hey, and that look, I mean, we can jump to that topic right now. What is our weaknesses? We'll start with our weaknesses. What is the Minnesota Vikings weaknesses as far as position goes going into the 2024 season? I'll start with you, Rap.
You start with me, you said?
Yeah.
I think our weaknesses are going to be defense. There'll be definitely defensive tackle is going to be one of them for sure. That's probably our biggest concern. Like De Niro said, offensive interior and offensive defense. I mean, the interior defensive line. I think those two probably are, if I had to think about weakness. And then I might throw tight end in there too. Like being that TJ Hawkins is going to be hurt for 6 weeks. I would say that because like there's a lot of really good tight ends and teams that know how to utilize the tight end, and it's explosive if you know how to do it right. I'm hoping N'Keal Harry actually surprises us and knows how to play the position really good, because I think that could be interesting. But, just going into the season right now, I think our tight end room weak right now. And then the offense and defensive line, like the interior to be exact. So that would be my guess right there. For sure.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern for sure. Is
Man,
when you
you know
build a
what? I'm
team.
so upset with Kirby Joseph. He's a dirty player, man. He injured Hawkins Penix
That
intentionally.
came out of nowhere.
I'm telling you, this is ready to red.
From the top rope, JJ
From the top rope. Ugh. Let's go.
Kirby Joseph needs to be banned from the NFL.
Hold on, who'd Kirby Joseph? Oh yeah, TJ Hawkinson. That's right.
Yeah. But he also took out a couple other people's knees
Yeah.
as well. He tried
They
to
had a
take out
couple.
JJ, not necessarily his knees, but
Yeah.
he went up high and kind of, helmet to helmet. They threw a flag. JJ still caught it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, JJ. Kirby Joseph's he's a little dirty. He's a little dirty.
A little dirty
He's a
guy,
little
man.
dirty hamster.
More
That's
than a
what
little.
he is.
More than a little.
He's a dirty hamster.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with Rap, man. The interior defensive line's number one weakness on this team. We haven't addressed it this entire offseason outside of Tillery, which I don't think he's the answer. So I would be surprised going into next season if that's not the position we draft in the first round. I think that we're dead set on improving this interior defensive line. I love Harrison Phillips. I love the way he plays, but we need somebody that plays different than Harrison Phillips. We need a big body. We need some meat in the middle to stuff that run. And again, Harrison Phillips is great. Again, I love the way he plays. He's a great locker room guy, and he should be sticking around this team for a long time. But we need somebody big that can play alongside him. So that should be our number one need going into next offseason, whether it be free agency or whether it be the draft. And it's not that we didn't try to address it, because remember, we were kind of the last 2 or 3 teams that were in the running for Christian Wilkins, and the Las Vegas Raiders just dumped their entire salary into Christian Wilkins and say, come on over. They gave him a price he couldn't deny. But before that, he was really considering coming to the Minnesota Vikings, and that could have changed the entire offseason for the Vikings. So I think we address that going into next offseason. We might even address it before the start of this season if the coaches realize, hey, look, I don't think we got enough guys in the middle there. So interior defensive line, absolutely number one weakness in my opinion. What about you, JJ?
I think it's
lagging over there.
Yeah. Can you hear us, nephew?
I think we're all really laggy. I can't. I think we're all really laggy.
Yeah.
What's the biggest weakness for this team, JJ?
The biggest weakness you said?
Yeah.
Okay, the biggest weakness I think would be corners right now, or like you said, maybe even the interior lineman position. I just think that we don't really have enough depth in either of those positions, but I'm going to go with corner.
Okay, I can't really argue that.
We need
not a Caleb Evans, not a Caleb Evans making the plays, nephew.
This guy's gonna take every shot he can at a Caleb Evans. He's gonna take every shot he can at a Caleb Evans.
AJ, this is the same guy that tried to stick up for Cam Dantzler.
Cam Dantzler's a dog, man. To this day,
so don't listen to anything.
Listen, hold on a minute. Hold up a minute. Hold on a minute.
Where's Cam Dantzler now, Rap?
Cam Dantzler just had attitude issues, man. He got ego issues, man. Now? And they have nothing to do with how he played. He just felt like he was the best, and he, when he got benched, it got in the way. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Cam Dantzler now, Rap?
I don't know. Was he play for the XFL or something?
We don't know.
But listen, a Caleb Evans gonna be the same way, in my opinion. He's gonna be playing.
He's the same player. He's the same player.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's the same player.
Absolutely
yes,
not.
Caleb Evans and Cam Dantzler are the same exact player. The only difference is that a Caleb Evans doesn't have the attitude that Cam Dantzler has, and that's why he's somewhat keeping a job in the NFL right now. That's the only difference, I promise.
What's good, Jordan? What's good, Jordan, man? Shout out to everybody that's been tapping in tonight too, man. We appreciate y'all, man. I know I see y'all. I don't have control of the comments, man, so SK
Yeah,
over
we'll
there
get our shout
DJing,
outs
but
in right now.
we see y'all though, man. We see y'all for sure, man. We just having a good little conversation with nephew, man. So
Yeah, we'll get our shout outs in.
yeah,
Bandito
man.
in the house. What's going on,
Bandito, man. Let's get it.
Bandito? All
Minnesota
day
Sports Talk
Ed.
with Al. Noble War Prize. Let's go.
There's David L
Tycoon.
tapping in.
Who else we have? Yeah, Bandito. You got Bandito. And
Yeah, got Bandito. Jordan already got. What's up, Nick?
yeah.
Tapping in on Facebook. Thank you for tapping in. Appreciate
Felicia.
you guys. If you guys don't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Not only to Purple and Skull Media, hit that subscribe button on Vocal Vike and also JJ Vikings as well. Even though they got all the followers over there, go ahead and hit that subscribe on Purple and Skull Media, man. Let's even these numbers out. Your boy's at 400. Let's get
yeah. Hey, shout out Selling McCarthy, man. Shout out my boy Cringe, man. He's stupid, man. Don't even bring that up though. But like, yeah.
Said David L said, ever since we cut Watts, nothing surprises me. There's always someone you don't expect. Very true. And there's one guy that some people have kind of been floating out there because he doesn't necessarily fit into the offense that we run, and that's CJ Ham. So what do you guys think about CJ Ham? Could CJ Ham be a possible surprise cut for you?
No, I don't think
CJ Ham's been cut.
I love CJ Ham. I've always had a special.
It would be surprising, man. Yeah, it would be surprising if it happened.
Yeah,
shout out Crown in the building, man. Shout out Crown, man, for sure.
Crown Jules in the house. Norpheus in the house.
What's up?
Too Evil. Shout out to Evil, man. Too Evil's actually helping us out with, we're plugging it. Might as well plug it while we're talking about it. Too Evil is helping us out with Skull Fest season opener, actually home opener this year because it's not week 1. So home opener week 2 against the 49ers. We're going to have Skull Fest 2. You guys are not going to want to miss it. We're still working on a location. We're going to do it somewhere else in the Twin Cities. So stick around, be on the lookout, because we will be releasing more details on Skull Fest 2. And we're only going to be doing things bigger. So be sure to be around. Us 3 are going to be there. I'm pretty sure JJ is going to be there. You going to be there home opener, JJ?
Can he hear us? I don't know if he can hear us.
Yeah, he's lagging. JJ's going to be there. He'll be there home opener. So make sure you stick around on future dates and just kind of wait and see where we're going to have it this year. And again, we're going to do it bigger and better every single year. So you're not going to want to miss it this year, guys. We actually had a great turnout in the first one. That was just the first one. Now we got a little experience under our belt, and now we're really going to be pumping things up. So be on the lookout for that, guys. But our next subject, who is going to surprisingly make this 53-man roster? Who could you guys see that's not expected to make the 53-man roster, but who will?
I'm going to go with, let's see, somebody who I don't think can make it, but let's see.
Maybe Brian Asamoah or Jay Ward or someone like that.
I'm gonna go with Bo Rickner. I'm gonna go with Bo. Yeah, I'm going with.
I'm expecting him to make it. I'm expecting him to make it though.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying it's for him to make it. Like, he's gonna have to earn it for sure. So
yeah,
I wonder. I would be him or the Levi Drake, the Levi what's his name, guys, man? The Levi Drake guy.
Oh,
from,
yeah.
Levi Drake Rodriguez.
Drake Rodriguez. There you go.
Yeah, Drake Rodriguez. Yep.
I would have to agree with you there, because what we just talked about, the interior defensive line is so thin, and we need help there. And everything that we've heard out of Minnesota and out of TCO is that he is a favorite out of the front office. Kwesi loves him. KOC loves him. He brings an energy that they love. He's there early before everybody else gets there. He leaves late. He's doing everything he possibly can to take part in this team. So I would agree with you. I think that would be kind of a surprise player to make the 53-man roster. Felicia Carlson says Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith is definitely going to be on this roster. He'll be on this team until he decides to retire. He's going to retire a Viking. I think we can all agree there.
Shout out in the Zoe, man. Shout out Zoe in the building. Let's go.
What's going on? Two-Tone in the building. Let's go, Purple Gang. What's up,
Anthony
fellas?
Webb. Let's go.
Noble War Price says N'Keal Harry. That could be a possibility. I could see that. Usually when a guy switches a position, and it almost never turns out positively.
Right.
When somebody's switching from wide receiver to tight end. I don't think there's ever a case where a player actually was successful after that position change. Mm-hmm. So that I can see that happening. I can see him getting cut. I can see him making the team because of the TJ Hawkinson injury to start the season. So
I hope he does good. I'm actually excited to see how that turns out. I'm excited to see how it turns out, man. Him being a tight end, like I could see him being really good at tight end, like for real. I could see some craziness happening, man. I got a good feeling about that move.
I think that all depends on what KOC has planned for him too, what he can draw, because there's a lot you can do with a guy that is. I mean, he's not the most athletic wide receiver, but when you switch a guy that's been playing wide receiver and he's big enough to play tight end, but he still has that athleticism, that can be a dangerous thing. But it all depends on how KOC draws things up for him, if he does draw things up for him. So it all depends. If he gets that playing time, I think Harry can do something at the tight end position. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't
be surprised.
I could see him balling out for real. I could see him balling out. We'll see.
I also see CJ Ham playing some tight end / H-back as well. We know he can catch the ball. He can get out in the open field. He can make some moves. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see CJ Ham in kind of a Jim Kleinsasser type of role, because he has that same type of body type. He's not super tall like a traditional tight end. He's a shorter guy. He's a bowling ball. So he can play that fullback position, but we can also kind of split him out in the slot to where we can do some things with CJ Ham. So I think we got plenty of options when TJ Hawkinson is down that we can mix things up and kind of keep defenses on their toes. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see CJ Ham playing some tight end.
Man, I'll say that I better not see CJ Ham strolling out there like that, man.
Hey, man.
See, this is the thing with CJ Ham. Like, it's like, I feel like they just, and I love CJ Ham, you know what I mean? But I just feel like they give him a roster spot because his name's CJ Ham. And it's like, don't force anything. Just don't force anything, man. Don't, hey, if you want to keep him on the team, cool. That's your decision to do that. But that doesn't mean that he has to be out there a lot. You know what I mean? Like, use him in goal line, whatever, because he is a good blocker and stuff like that too. But
well, the thing is, whether we like it or not, you being a great locker room guy is something in the league. Like that's going to get you a job in the league. And I think he means a lot to this locker room, not just because of his maybe prowess in the locker room, but also him being a veteran and being a captain of this team before. That's something that you don't want to take out of this locker room. That's valuable. And that's something that we wanted to bring Harrison Smith back for as well. Obviously, Harrison Smith is great on the field, but also he's a veteran. He's been a captain of this team. You don't just let that walk out of the door, especially him taking such a huge pay cut to remain a Minnesota Viking. That's someone that you keep around. CJ Ham, it's a little bit different as far as we don't play him as much. I think he played like 10% of snaps on the offensive side of the ball last year, and you're paying him amongst the top half of NFL fullbacks in the league, which is, it's not a lot of fullbacks in the league nowadays. So when you pay him that much, you're expecting him to do a lot more on the field, but I think he does a lot more in the locker room and for this team than what people actually think he does. So I don't think CJ Ham is going anywhere. I don't think he's getting cut. I think he is going to be having somewhat of a different role on the field this year. And like I said, I think he kind of fits into that H-back Jim Kleinsasser type of role because he's the same body type and he can catch the ball.
Remember that one game? Does anybody remember that one game where Kirk Cousins threw a bomb downfield to CJ Ham? Like that was like we
It's
was
against the
like,
Ravens, yeah, and
yo.
he caught it like
Yeah,
JJ,
he
like
caught
Justin
it. We were
Jefferson.
like, but we were mad. We were, even though CJ Ham caught it, like everybody was so frustrated on like Kirk. Like, why? Like, why are you throwing the ball down there to the fullback like that, bro?
It was
Like,
nice
hey,
though.
see, hey, but again, Ham was like, man, quit playing with my name. There was another, remember one run, it might have been against the Lions or something, where he did like a, man, that man did a juke so nasty. Man, he shook a dude right out his shoes. And I was like, yo, because they say CJ Ham can dance. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
he got some moves on him, man. So shout out CJ though, man, for sure.
yeah,
Shout
he
out
was
CJ.
tap dancing out there, tap dancing
Yeah.
around defenders.
Yeah, shout out CJ, man. Shout out CJ, man. You gotta love CJ Ham if you're a Viking fan. That's just the fact.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But before we get out of here, man, we gotta let y'all know, if you don't know already, our guy JJ, he's actually gonna be opening 9 to noon tomorrow morning. If you guys don't know what 9 to noon is, that is on KFan. That is Paul Allen's show every day. Minnesota Vikings talk. I think he talks Timberwolves, talks a bunch of stuff, but mostly Minnesota Vikings. JJ is gonna be opening the show for PA. Man, that's big. That's huge. So if you guys
Hey,
have the
shout out your uncles on there, man. Don't quit playing.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Hey, say, man,
Shout
Uncle
out
Rap,
to
you know what I mean? Uncle SK, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, they
Absolutely, absolutely. I got you. I got to do it. Yep, yep.
nah,
So
I'm
yeah,
just
if
tripping,
you
man.
guys
It's
are
about you. It's about you, nephew, man. You do your
yeah,
thing, man. You just you freestyle and talk your talk, man. You doing amazing, man. Like for sure,
yeah.
man. I'm so proud of you.
So if you
Everything you
guys
do.
are in the Twin Cities, make sure to tune into KFan. If you're not in the Twin Cities, get on iHeartRadio, look up
Yeah.
Paul Allen, and Paul Allen's 9 to noon show will pop up. That's how I listen to it. So if you're not in the Twin Cities and you can't necessarily listen to it on your car radio or stereo, go ahead, download the iHeartRadio app. I think it's free the first month. All you need it for is for tomorrow. All right. So make
Yeah.
sure you download the app, tap in, show JJ your support, call in because Paul Allen does take calls. Call in, give your support, shout him out, share the link, do what you got to do, man. We're here to support our guy. He's come a long way. It's been about a year, right? It's
Facts.
been about a year since we kind of took you under our
Yeah.
wing and
Yeah.
kind of brought you in. So you've come a long way, JJ, man. You're learning a lot. You're maturing. You're doing your thing. You're pushing your content. I remember
Yeah.
when we first kind of came about you, you had your videos, you're going through your file book with all your notes with you
Yeah.
and your mom on camera, man, and we knew you were special. So you've come a long way, man. We're proud of
Yeah,
you,
man.
and it's just the beginning. You got a lot more moves to make, and the older you get, man, the more opportunities you're gonna get too. So you keep doing what you're doing, and just like all the comments saying, we're gonna tap in, we're gonna support, we're gonna shout you out. And again, make sure to tap in on KFan 9 to noon tomorrow. That's 9 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. West Coast, 10 a.m. on the East Coast. So Rap's gonna tap in at 10 a.m. Make sure you give JJ your support, man. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. So you
Super
ready
big
for that,
deal.
JJ? How you feeling about it?
I feel amazing for it. I'm ready for it. I've already been on with PA, and I'm ready to do it again. Love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So thank you everybody for tuning in, man. Anything you guys want to say before we get out of here? Rap, JJ?
Man, I just want to say I can't wait for the season to start, man. Really training camp. I won't
Skol
even
Vikings.
be greedy. I won't even be greedy, man.
Skol
Just
Vikings.
training camp, man. Let's go, man. I'm ready for it to start. So let's hurry up and get there, man. Let's keep pushing through. We got one more month, really. You think about it,
Yeah,
man.
less than a
Tomorrow
month
is
before
July
training
1st.
camp starts.
Yeah, tomorrow's July 1st. So tomorrow, once tomorrow begins, we have football starting next month, right? This month starting tomorrow, football. We're in the month where football starts. Now, anybody who pays mortgage or rent or anything, you know how fast the month go by. So yeah, I'm saying it's right around the corner. So let's get it, man. I'm excited, man. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got some extra spiciness to watch for the preseason as well. JJ McCarthy's going to be getting a whole lot of playing time in the preseason. So we actually got a reason to watch preseason games this season. And it's right around the corner, less than a month away. Like I said at the bottom of our screen, July 27th is the start of training camp. And that's when everything kicks off and you start smelling the grass in the air,
Yeah.
start smelling like football season. That's the most
Yeah.
exciting time of the year. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for tapping in. If you don't already, hit that subscribe button. JJ Vikings, Vocal Vike, and Purple and Skull Media. If you're on Facebook, make sure to hit that follow button, hit that like, hit that share. We appreciate each and every one of you for tapping in with us. And until next time, Skull Vikings.
Skull to the bowl. Whole lot of Skull gang on this one. Yeah. Hey. 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 Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring. We don't care what the team doing, man. They ain't messing with the perp gang. It's our year, time to